Wow. Oh my gosh, was that first episode amazing. I'm going to leave a link down below. I'm just giving my thoughts and opinions after this. I'm not watching this video. I just want to give my thoughts and opinions. Listen, they said that was like Hard Knocks. That was 1,000 times more than Hard Knocks. That was 1,000 times better. Every second of that, I was just like, not gonna lie, I got a little emotional, a little tears in my eyes for some of it, but that was such amazing. Okay, hang on, hold up. Who they? Who they? Who do? Wait, is who they? Who they? Who think they gonna beat those Bengals? Nobody. I gotta say this correctly. Hang on, hang on. I've been processing, okay? Who they? Who they? Who they think gonna beat them Bengals? Nobody. I gotta do it one more time. Who they? Who they? Who who they think they're gonna beat them Bengals? Nobody. Okay, I'm gonna get better by the end of the season. I promise, guys. I promise. But alright, let's just break this out because I am just baffled how amazing that was. So first off, the Hall of Fame stuff, that was absolutely amazing. Looking into the Hall of Fame, showing how Paul Brown, all the stuff from literally from his legacy is in there. And yes, obviously the Cleveland Browns and the Bengals found by the same guy, Paul Brown. And I do like the fact that they show how, you go all the way back to Otto Graham. Otto Graham obviously won 6 championships with the Cleveland Browns when he was a part of the roster. But they have their contract from when he went from the Army to the football. And obviously that was before the NFL even existed. That was back when it was the AFL and the other American Football League. And no, it was the AFL. Yeah, it was 2 separate. Well, anyway, though, I'm sorry. I got so emotional during that, so I'm just like trying to capture my emotions here. But that was absolutely amazing. Seeing all that and seeing how much documentation they have. Like, listen, I understand. I've been to the Hall of Fame before in Canton, Ohio. It's amazing. It's one of the coolest things to go. You see so many different busts and so many different, things framed from throughout history. But to know they have so much little detail of every ounce of football all the way back from 1927 to now, that is honestly so amazing. But that's only one part of this. So let me continue to the next part. So that was awesome. I loved seeing that. But I think my favorite part of this, and I think they're really the best part they did, and this is why it's 1,000 times better than Hard Knocks will ever be, is when they showed off the Fan of the Year. And they showed how dedicated he is. How, much of a culture he is building around Cincinnati and why he is the Fan of the Year. Because let's be honest, obviously he deserves to be Fan of the Year with how amazing he truly is. And I feel like the Fan of the Year, the guy really significant. It really shows off Cincinnati because you can tell the guy's an amazing guy. He's a loving guy. He's a caring guy. He's everything you'd look up to be in a man, and not even a man, a person in general. Every single trait you can list or talk about, that's exactly who he is. He's amazing. And just seeing him getting all the get-togethers together, I know he said that at first it was just like a tailgate type of thing, and then it turned into every single year they got together. This is why I love Cincinnati. This is why I love the Bengals, because it's that culture. It's that who they culture. It's that togetherness. It's that, we're all fighting for the same goal. It's not just separation of this, and this. And I think the best way possible was showing, not only his life, and again, his wife writing that letter it made me cry. I'm not gonna lie. It made me cry a little bit. But the seeing, his thought process throughout this whole entire offseason, going to the games. I know they only showed him in one, the Packers game, which I do love the fan that was like, hey, how do I get that patch? He's like, I'm Fan of the Year. You can't get my patch, bro. I'm Fan of the Year. Oh my gosh. And then to see how he reacts when every play happens, I felt that because that's how a lot of times when I watch football, that's how I react. I mean, even the smallest things, I'll lose my voice. I think we go back to the AFC Championship game last year where I was losing my voice on some of the plays. But just to see his, like, going to all this, showing him with the community and building with the community is absolutely amazing. I love that so freaking much. I also love the DJ Reader part where he shows off, him giving back to schools and going to schools and having this area where they can get school supplies, backpacks, all that kind of stuff. It just goes to show, listen, at the end of the day, these football players, yeah, they're millionaires, right? They do all this stuff on the field, and it's awesome to see. But when these football players give back to the community like they do, when they have foundations or they have charities that really helps other people, and it's not just like, oh yeah, this is all my money, this is all the stuff for me. This is all for us. That's a very beautiful thing, and I absolutely love that about again when they show DJ Reader. I know all of these players do. Joe Burrow has a mental health what's called a mental health charity that helps people with mental illnesses. And I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I did read this, that he actually donated a lot of money to a hospital to pay for a lot of people's different medical bills when it came to mental health. And again, just beautiful stuff like that. I love it. And I guess the best way to put this is like, the way they did this so perfectly was the fact that they kind of had it separated between, okay, so here's the fan of year point of view, here's coach's point of view, and then here is the behind the scenes point of view. And it blends so perfectly together. It's like transitioning from, you get emotional because you see the fan of the year and you feel like that's me, you kind of get that connection, and then you see, kind of more humanized of these players, like with the ping pong tournament and stuff like that. And then again, you realize how dedicated Coach truly is and how amazing Coach is. And that's why, ever since I started covering the Bengals on the channel, I've been very much into like talking about how much I love Coach, because Coach is one of those guys who, again, he's I can't say the word correctly. He represents Cincinnati, and it's absolutely amazing. And this is, again, why I love this team so much, because it's just that culture. It's that absolute amazing culture. Bringing together, always, hoping, waiting, and getting ready for the Super Bowl to finally come to the Queen City. And, I mean, I can't recommend watching this enough. And, this is someone who I don't really like Hard Knocks. I kind of think it is boring. But this is just... it's amazing. I'm sorry. It is absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to the next episode. I can't wait to continue watching this. It's just, we see so much behind the scenes that, I guess many teams don't show, / I want to see. I want to see every little detail, because it just shows off, like, again, it makes like, how I look at it, like, a lot of times, right, is as, like, what average Joes, right? When you look at a football player, you put them on this pedestal, like that is like the superhuman, right? That is the top echelon. When you see this type of stuff, especially in episode 1, it's like it humanizes them. It makes it like, oh, yeah, this guy's a great football player and I love watching him, but he's just a regular guy, just like me. Like, he's a cool guy. Like, he's a guy I would love to hang out with and talk to, right? So it's like that kind of like characteristics that I really like. Is a lot of shows, or not a lot of shows, but a lot of like different football programs, they don't humanize the players enough, I feel like, because it doesn't make it so that you feel like, this is just a normal person just like you. So I definitely love that fact about it. And again, like I said, I know I'm probably missing one or two things in this, but this was amazing. Like, I can't even stress that enough how amazing they did. The photo shoot was cool too. The fact that, see, again, like I said, that's another thing. The photo shoot, I saw the pictures, I was like, the pictures look awesome. Cool, right? I'm a photographer. I've done weddings, I've done photo shoots, I've done everything. So I understand, like, from photographing, photo shoots, I understand, like, the perspective of it, but I'm not the guy who creates stuff. So, like, for example, they created that temple around, that took a month for them to create. That took so many hours for them to, as they said, to paint it correctly for the textures. There's so much to it that's not just a simple, okay, done. It is so much different things they have to do. And again, like I said, just absolutely awesome. Also, that's weird because that's the first time they showed Katie Blackburn's daughter. That's the first time I've ever seen her. I don't know why. I've seen like a million different people in the Bengals organization. That's the first person. That's the first time I've seen her. That's interesting. Nonetheless, though, last thing I will leave it off on, and last thing I really did love is seeing Orlando Brown and his transition from obviously the dark side to the light side here, and seeing him, you know, how he's felt so welcomed, so honored to be in here, and that kind of stuff. And then number two would be a Logan Wilson's contract. Again, like I said, just a little bit of, you know, behind the scenes that we don't always see when it comes to anyone signing contracts. Not just Logan Wilson. It could be anyone. But we don't really see the, you know, kind of the emotions that are going through his face during that perspective. And then obviously Miles Murphy too. Seeing him, you know, finally now part of the Cincinnati Bengals Who Dey Nation. So I'm going to leave it off, guys, with this. Let me try this again. Who dey? Who dey? Who dey think gonna beat them Bengals? Nobody! Peace out, guys. Who dey?